All right. Welcome into the official ROTAJ March Madness bracket here. Kyle Pullen here with Matt Dietz. We are going to fill out a bracket here. We have waited till the last moment because we wanted to make sure that we knew all the COVID news that we could possibly know. Looks like the tournament is going full steam ahead. We had a great game of first 4 games last night. So we want to get started. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go first in the West bracket. And then Dietz will go first in the East. In each bracket, we each get 1 veto. So if there's a pick that I make that Dietz does not like, he can use his 1 veto. And same thing, if Dietz makes a pick I do not like, I can use my veto. All right? You ready to get started here, Dietzy?
Yes.
All right. So I hope you don't use your veto on this, but I'm going to put Gonzaga by Norfolk State.
We agree.
Okay, good.
Every 1 seed is winning.
Yeah. The Zags, number 1 team in the whole tournament. They've searching for an undefeated season. They're incredible. This one, tougher one for me. It just comes down to the heights of the team. Oklahoma has been ranked in the top 10. They have been a better team. I'm going Oklahoma here. I don't trust Missouri. I think that they are in a weaker conference and haven't been tested as much as a OU team has.
SEC sucks. I'm not going for anybody from the SEC. I thought it might be Alabama round 1. We'll see.
Okay.
Overvalued. Overpowered.
All right. Then we've got Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara. This is going to be my first upset pick here.
Wow.
Creighton is a 3-point shooting team. Santa Barbara is the number 1 team against defending 3-pointers in the NCAA. Also, Creighton's coach thought that it would be a good idea to talk about everyone keeping their feet on the plantation to his players. And so I think karmically they are for sure losing this game. Of course, Creighton came off losing in the Big East Championship to Georgetown to give them an automatic bid. So give me UC Santa Barbara here. Is that okay with you, Dietzy?
I'm not going to veto it. I won't be taking them in my bracket, I think. Creighton made it to the Big East Championship. I think they've got a chip on their shoulder. This is a popular upset. UCSB small school. It's going to be big lights, big city. No big upset.
Okay. Now I've got Virginia and Ohio. Virginia, of course, they pretty much haven't been able to practice coming into this because they, of course, had to get out of the ACC tournament with the COVID cases here. They weren't looking great before that. I am going to take Ohio here.
Wow.
So I am knocking out my 5 seed and my 4 seed here. Dietzy, are you using a veto early? What do you think?
I'm vetoing that pick.
No.
Virginia's going to get in there. They're winning this game.
Dang.
They're making it to the Elite 8, baby.
Oh, Elite 8. Okay. I think Virginia, they are a well-coached team. So Tony Bennett, you gotta, trust him somewhat there. All right, leads us up to next USC versus Drake. We saw Drake last night. They came back. They were down 11 with 9 minutes left in that game. Came charging back. They are a team full of seniors. However, they got smoked by Wichita State's big man, and USC has Mobley, who is probably going to be the number 2 or number 3 overall pick, just probably depending on who gets what pick there. So I'm thinking that USC wins here. What are your thoughts on this game?
I wouldn't be surprised by an upset here just because USC plays in the weaker Pac-12 conference. I think they've lost some winnable games. They got smoked by Colorado 2 times. And then you always love those teams coming into the the NCAA tournament with some steam. Those 11 seeds, they're doing pretty good in the round 1 of the NCAA tournament.
And I do think it's an advantage to, at least in the beginning, to have played in the play-in game.
Yeah.
Because you know the gym, you're kind of warmed up. You do see that sometimes. I just think the big man's going to be too much. But this one does make me nervous because, of course, everyone remembers with Arizona, they lost with DeAndre Ayton versus a team that had no one taller than 6'6", and they just couldn't throw the ball into the post.
Yeah.
Because sometimes college players suck at stuff like that. So it's hard to bet for a team that has a big man being like their number 1 skill.
Right.
Up next, we got Kansas, Eastern Washington. Kansas, of course, also had to pull out of the Pac-12 with COVID issues. They're here. They're going to play. They started off the season terribly and then kind of became a defensive-minded team. I don't trust Kansas at all, but I do trust them to beat Eastern Washington here. But I would say if you're looking at this one for a spread, I would say potentially if this gets up too high, I don't think Kansas isn't a team that can score like Gonzaga or like some of these other higher seeds where a blowout might be hard for Kansas to pull off here.
Sure. Agreed. Like Kansas in this one, don't overthink it.
Yeah. All right, then we've got Oregon versus VCU. I am, unlike you, I like the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 has some really good teams here. Oregon, of course, won the regular season title. Had they not been upset by Oregon State, they could be probably swapping seats with Colorado if they had made it there and won. I think they're undervalued here. I think they are a really good team, and I like Oregon a lot against VCU.
I don't know a ton about VCU. I've watched Oregon play several games. They have good talent. They have a good coach. I think that's a good pick.
And then I'm taking Iowa over Grand Canyon University. Sorry to Dan's alma mater there, but they are not making it here out of the round of 64.
Yeah. I think they should be happy to be in the tournament. Just one of those great stories. It's a new school, new program.
Yeah.
Good for them that they made it.
Absolutely. All right. Now, Dietz is going to go first here on this one. So you go first, and I have my veto if I need it.
Yeah, I think this will be a good matchup here. Zags versus Oklahoma. We talked about the three-point shooting of the Zags, the great offense of the Zags. Then Oklahoma coming in. They've got the power conference. They've been in the top 10. I do think the Zags are just better coached. They're a little more polished for this kind of moment. Taking Gonzaga here.
That's correct. No need for a veto there. All right.
Moving down to UCSB versus Virginia, coming off that huge upset over Creighton. I love that here coming in the second round. They've got some mojo. They've got some steam. I think I like UCSB moving forward over Virginia. I said they were going to the Elite Eight. I was pulling your chain.
Okay. Well, I didn't even want Virginia here, so I am totally fine with UCSB moving forward. I think they are a really dangerous team.
I think that also covers you. If you liked Ohio beating Virginia, I think UCSB is still a better team than Ohio. So that doesn't bust our bracket. We're only missing 1 point there, taking them to move forward.
Absolutely.
USC versus Kansas. You've got a big man from a talented school, and we've got a defensive-minded team. Do they have anybody to stop Mobley over there?
So McCormick didn't travel to the Big 12. It's unsure if he's going to play in here. That's a huge loss for them if he doesn't.
Yeah.
But like you said, I don't trust USC. So I am leaning towards Kansas here just because I don't trust USC in round 1 necessarily. So I don't want to hurt our bracket more going forward with that. And I think you're right that USC is really talented, but they are really, really stupid sometimes with how they play. Mm-hmm. So I trust Bill Self and them to scheme up something to slow down Mobley. If the Buffs can do it with Walton and Evan Batty, yes, I don't know why I had Mobley in my head still, but Evan Batty, then I think that Kansas still has the firepower to at least give him some looks and make it hard for him.
If I see this matchup in the second round, I'm hammering Kansas. I'm hammering the spread. I'm taking the money line. Kansas.
Excellent. All right. And then what do you have here for this last one?
Oregon, Iowa. I've talked about my thoughts on Pac-12 here. I don't love the Pac-12. I think Iowa's a very good team. They've got good talent, good coach. That's my line for the day. Good talent, good coach. Iowa's moving forward. Iowa-Kansas matchup. Bring it on.
Yep, that sounds correct to me.
Okay.
I didn't have to use my veto.
I like it.
All right. So now we have Zags versus UCSB. I don't think we need to talk about this one too much. The Zags are way, way, way too good here. And cue everyone, if this matchup happens, cue everyone talking about how the Zags have had an easy road. No, man, now they're even getting an easy bracket. Well, that's what should happen when you're the overall number 1 seed, everyone. And then Kansas, Iowa. I love Iowa here. I think they have shooters for the outside. I think the big man inside there is going to, with Garza, he's a National Player of the Year candidate. I think that Kansas is not a very good team. I want no part of them in my Elite Eight. Give me Iowa here.
All right. Like that. going a little unexpected. Put that up there. We've got a 1-2 matchup here and the end of our bracket.
Yes.
So pencil that down.
All right, Dietz, who are you taking? Zags, Iowa.
I think I like Iowa here, Kyle.
I'm going to veto that. That is a terrible pick.
Okay.
Do not pick anyone over the Zags in the Final Four. People are trying to get cute. Fortunately, these teams have played each other already. Now, granted, early in the season, of course, but the Zags beat them by about 20. There is just no way that Iowa can keep up with the Zags. The Zags have the big guys inside to at least slow down Garza. They don't have to double team. And then on the outside, they have insane athletes where Iowa is built to just have Garza, you double team, and they have shooters outside, which is an awesome, an awesome formula for victory. But here, I don't think that they match up well at all with the Zags. The Zags are going to the Final Four.
Okay.
Mark it down. You are getting good value if you do want to bet. I believe it's minus 220, or minus 200, but it's still, I think, a great bet. Just take the Zags to make the Final Four.
Okay.
They are far and away the most talented team here. And we saw, even if they have a bad game or two, like they did against BYU in that first half, they still came out and beat them, by over 20 points in the second half to kind of go away with that game and not make it super close. I just think there's way, way too much talent with the Zags. So take the Zags here. Trying to put a Big Ten team in our Final Four, it's an outrage. All right, so Dietz, you're leading us off with the first round here in the Eastern region. Are you taking did you like what you saw from Texas Southern in their comeback against, I forget who it was against, Dietz, but they were down 10. Mount St. Mary's. Did you like what you saw enough to pick them to upset Michigan?
It's a great game to watch. I definitely like Michigan, Juwan Howard, well-coached team, and he gets a little fiery if the refs are not calling things his way. So I love that as well. Just no timeouts at the wrong time. I think they'll be fine.
I like that. Michigan.
Easy pick there.
Yes.
And I spelled it correctly. LSU versus St. Bonaventure. I think I might take an upset here. I don't love the SEC. I know LSU's got great talent down there in the Bayou. St. Bonaventure's looked really fantastic in their conference tournament, of course. They got all the way up to a 9 seed. St. Bonaventure, number 9.
I don't love it. I'm not using my veto, though.
Okay.
I don't love LSU enough to waste my veto right now. I think this is a hard one to pick, and I don't trust either team against Michigan in the next round.
Sure.
So that to me is not the end of the world.
Okay. Next, we're pulling up on Colorado versus Georgetown. Of course, Patrick Ewing's team down there won the Big East to get in. They're 13-12. Almost under 500 to make the NCAA tournament. That would have been something. I don't think an NCAA tournament has ever been under 500 and made the tournament.
I'm sure someone has in one of those small conferences.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like they just got on a run. Yeah, you get on a run.
Colorado looked great in the Pac-12 tournament. I think Oregon State's got some great talent up there. They looked good in the tournament. I didn't feel terrible about the loss. See, you played them tough.
And Oregon State just shot the hell out of the three.
Yeah.
And they're not a good three-point shooting team typically, so sometimes that happens. Colorado was right in that game, and I agree with you. I don't think that they blew it or played super bad in that, so it didn't make me feel worse about them.
I think in years past I would pull an upset here, but this Colorado team has a lot of seniors. It's the best recruiting class in Colorado history. They've got an excellent coach in Tad Boyle, putting CE forward. Let's move on to the next round.
I could not agree anymore. I think the Georgetown hype is kind of, I think it's getting to those kids.
Yeah.
And I think all they've seen is all the interviews of their coach and how they turn their season around, how they're the best, and, wow, look at all this talent. And I think CU has been, silently preparing, and they are not going to sneak up on a CU team. So I like CU here as well.
Wonderful. Next, we've got Florida State versus Uncg. I think I like Florida State in this one.
Yeah. Florida State is one of the best fours in this whole tournament. Obviously, you have Virginia, who's dealing with the COVID stuff. And then you have Purdue, who I don't trust over there in the South. And then OK State is Cade Cunningham, and his merry band of singers, but just Kate Cunningham. So I think Florida State is the best 4 seed on this line.
I'll be interested to see how this 4-5 matchup turns out. We'll get to that later.
Yes, indeed.
Next, we got UCLA taking on
BYU.
UCLA, of course, they had a great season in the Pac-12. They looked phenomenal, and then they had a poor tournament. So
right, but big comeback, overtime win over Michigan State last night to get to this game. So give them a little confidence there. However, they did have one of their shooters been dealing with ankle issues. He went down in the overtime. It'll be interesting to see if he can play.
Do they play Saturday or today?
They play Saturday.
Okay.
Yep, you get a day.
Day off is good for them. Man, I think I might go UCLA here just because they have the momentum. What do you think?
Veto! All right. BYU is going through here. BYU is awesome. It's amazing what you can do with a program when you get to play with 26-year-olds on your team after they take some years to go lift weights and share the word door to door. So I think BYU is great here. I don't trust UCLA at all. I think that Michigan State was a pretty bad tournament team, and they had to come back against them. So I think BYU is the play here. I think Texas needs to be careful when they see BYU in that next round too.
Yeah, just jumping right into Texas. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Texas, a 3 seed. I think bigger school, bigger talent. Love Abilene Christian. Great that they made it. Story ends here.
Agreed.
Next, we've got UConn versus Maryland.
Fun game.
Yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure on UConn here. I know they've upset CU before in the round of 64. Was that UConn? The Huskies? Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yep.
CU was an 8 seed. They were a 9 seed. Yep. I'm going UConn. I don't like Maryland.
I like the UConn guards. I think they're playing really well right now. I agree with that. Take UConn.
Great. And Alabama, Iona, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I really like Alabama despite their weak conference play.
They are really good. Yep.
And then a 15 seed. How many times have we seen that upset happen there? Maybe 2 times in tournament history. So not overthinking that one. Kyle, tell me who you got going to the Sweet 16.
I got Michigan over St. Bonaventure here. This Michigan team, obviously, Livers is hurt. He's going to be out for this tournament. That absolutely kills them in terms of any championship aspirations they've had. But I think they're still plenty good enough to make it to the Sweet 16. So give me Michigan here. CU Florida State. I'm sorry, Buffs fans, but Florida State is insanely talented. They have a lot of perimeter talent here, so I am taking Florida State over CU. Any veto coming from you here?
No. Okay. Love CU. This is a tough matchup for them in the second round.
Like I said, I would love it if, say, CU was up here, and you either get to play Virginia or Ohio, and I think then that's a great matchup for them, right? But CU, I think, has the hardest road to the Sweet 16 of any 5 seed. Yeah. Georgetown, athletic, they're big, and then you get another just crazy athletic team that is, used to making deep tournament runs. The only thing that I will say is we have seen for Florida State, Leonard Hamilton sometimes likes to not foul in single possession games and just let the clock run out. To cover the spread. So do be aware of that, especially in this next round. BYU and Texas. I am going to take Texas. This is a hard game for me because I don't trust Shaka Smart. I don't trust him as a coach. He's had a good year this year with Texas, but it's his first good year since he came over from Wichita State. Or was it Wichita State? I don't know. It was a mid-major that he was having real success with, but he hasn't had that same success at Texas despite really good recruiting classes. So I don't trust him as a coach here, but I think he finally figured it out that you need really good guards in college, not really good big men, as he's seen from wasting Jackson Hayes and those guys with just mediocre perimeter players. So I'm taking Texas here, but I would just say be very careful about this.
I'll go ahead.
Any veto there?
No.
Okay. Then I am actually going to take UConn over Alabama here. I think that UConn, I think their guard, is their guard play is really, really good. I think Alabama is not an offensive juggernaut. We've seen that. They played a very close game against LSU. I think they're vulnerable. I think UConn can pull the upset here. What say you?
I like Alabama, not enough to veto.
Okay.
I'll go with your knowledge there. UConn, big upset. First 2 seed going down.
That's it.
From the SEC, which I feel okay about. It's the weakest conference.
Yes. All right. Now you've got Michigan, Florida State. What say you?
Tough game. Looking forward to seeing the matchup.
Yes.
Michigan, of course, they have that injury for,
Livers. Yep.
Is he still out?
Yeah, his stress fracture. He won't play a whole tournament.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that might push me over the edge.
Yep.
Maybe Florida State there.
That's what I was hoping. I didn't have a veto to do anything about it. So we're in your capable hands here, Dietzy. But I agree with you. I think Florida State is really, really good.
Texas, UConn. Man, Texas just seems like that's a great matchup for them. You talked about Shaka Smart. They've got better guard play. UConn, I think that's a huge win for them over Alabama. They should be happy with their season. 7 seed made it almost to the Elite Eight.
Yep.
Texas.
I like that.
Big Texas.
That's it. All right, now we've got Florida State, Texas. Here I am going to take Florida State over Texas. I think that Florida State is, once again, really deep. They have good shooters. They play really good defense. Leonard Hamilton is used to these deep runs. I'm taking Florida State over Texas.
All right. I like that. We got a 4 seed.
Yes.
Much better, and we had a 3 seed plan here, so
yeah.
Florida State.
All right. Let's just get to our championship here. Zags versus Florida State. This is a matchup that has happened before. The Florida State knocked out the Zags, of course. So would be kind of a revenge game here. I would want to take the Zags. What say you?
I don't know enough about Florida State to say against that. I like the Zags, and
here we are. We've got the Zags.
Go with the favorite.
Listen, if you are a team, the Zags are historic in offense here. They have potentially 2 players who could be National Player of the Year candidates. Jalen Suggs is unreal. They have the interior talent. They have depth. They don't have injuries. They've already all gotten COVID, so they're not going to get knocked out there. All signs are pointing to the Zags here, in my opinion. Don't overthink it.
Love it.
All right, I'm going the first round here. No need to analyze this. Baylor. North Carolina, Wisconsin. This is a fun one between 2 blue bloods. I think Wisconsin is absolutely awful this year. And I think that the Big Ten, this happens every year in the tournament, is there's a few teams that are genuinely good from the Big Ten. But then, as happens in conference play, in every conference, there's upsets. And so then people go, well, Wisconsin, they beat this. Oh, man, they're so amazing. But it doesn't happen that way for other conferences. Thus, you get a team like Georgia Tech, who won the ACC, a traditionally really good one that, of course, was marred by COVID, but still. Georgia Tech coming off, huge wins. They end up as a 9 seed, same as Wisconsin, who was nowhere near the Big Ten championship. I think Wisconsin sucks. I'm taking North Carolina here. Are you vetoing there? Are you okay?
No, completely agree. I think you bring out a great point with Big Ten being the most overrated conference in the tournament here. And love the pick.
Then we've got Villanova versus Winthrop. This is a very popular upset pick, but I'm still taking it. Villanova hasn't won a game since Colin Gillespie tore up his knee. They're of course, their star point guard. Winthrop, their point guard is described as Colin Gillespie, but 6'7" and left-handed. So I would like to take the team that has Colin Gillespie, a taller version of him. So Winthrop plays really fast-paced. They really get up and down. I think Winthrop wins this game.
Okay. Mark that for the upset.
All right. Then we've got Purdue and North Texas here. I am going to take Purdue here. I think North Texas is, this is an example of a team that is, in their conference, is very athletic and sometimes overwhelms teams with that. That's not going to overwhelm Purdue. Not going to happen here. So I like Purdue.
Important pick coming up for you here.
Yes. Texas Tech, Utah State. I love Texas Tech here. I think Texas Tech, they've slipped a little near the end of the season, but I think they're just kind of built for tournament time. They always play hard-nosed defense. You know they're going to play hard. They don't underestimate anybody. So I think they're one of the least likely teams to blow a game versus a team that they might not know as well, right? Just because of the way that they're coached. Okay. And I really trust them. I think that they are a really, really good team, and I would keep an eye on them versus an Arkansas in a matchup as well in this next round. So I'm taking Texas Tech.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
When you said important, I didn't know which way.
Utah State, popular upset pick.
Yes. Yeah. Arkansas, I'm having them go through against Colgate. I think that Arkansas has enough veterans, all that kind of stuff, to avoid the upset here. Florida, Virginia Tech. This one, of course, will be tipping off here in just a few hours. The first game of the tournament. Give me Virginia Tech. Florida has been on a skid. They've lost 4 of their last 5, I believe. So give me the upset here. Give me Vatech.
I like that.
All right, and then Ohio State. I'm taking them over Oral Roberts. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here and pick the 15. All right, Deeds, what say you?
Well, start up at the top with Baylor playing against North Carolina. I think Baylor's just a really strong team here this year. They've had a couple close games, but they look like they've got some character.
Baylor is also, if they can get out of this opening weekend, they're a really dangerous team.
Yeah.
Because they had a long COVID layoff, and they haven't looked the same since. When they were undefeated, they were competing right there with the Zags. So I think if they can get out of this weekend, they're in pretty good shape. And I agree with you. North Carolina's not smart enough, not experienced enough to make the right play here. Give us Baylor.
Winning that one on talent.
Yep.
Here we've got Winthrop playing Purdue. That's an interesting matchup for Purdue, getting to play the lower seed, the 12. I think I like Purdue here. Winthrop, you talked about them a little bit. They've got a fantastic guard play up there. Purdue played North Texas. Not a huge matchup in round 1, but I still like them based on their seed.
Man, this one is tough. I'm trying to think what else you're going to pick. I'm using my veto.
Okay.
I'm blowing it. I think Winthrop is super, super talented. I think that they are really high scoring. I think they're the exact kind of team that traditionally has flustered Purdue, where Purdue wants to play, Matt Painter, he wants to play that slow it down. He wants to play that style. And Winthrop's going to put a lot of pressure on them, and they are going to push that pace, and they have the point guard to win here. So they're going to be my 12 seed, joining UCSB. I think we're going to have 2 12 seeds here in our Sweet 16.
I feel like that slowed down pace will really match up well versus a team who likes to push the pace. You talk about playoffs, you talk about referees slowing the things down. They want to win the game themselves, the refs do.
Now we have to talk about here the top officials. 6 of them did get sent home. So those are probably the officials who are most corrupt for the big programs. So I think that only helps a Winthrop here. Right. There's probably a lot of Big Ten referees sent home there, So good stuff from them. All right, Texas Tech, Arkansas. Fun matchup in the round of 32.
Love Texas Tech here. You used your veto already. I'm throwing them in there before you.
That's what I was hoping you were going to do.
All right.
I was trying to think if you were going to pick Arkansas because I was like, I'd rather veto Texas Tech through. So I trusted you, and you came through. I couldn't agree with you anymore here. I think this is a classic thing of Texas Tech. Slumped a little bit, but they're built for this. They've, of course, made it to the championship game against Virginia the last time it was played. And so I think they are very experienced. I think they're very motivated, and I think they're going to be a really hard out in this tournament.
Yeah, that's one of my most favorite games to bet. We talked about Kansas over USC here in a second round and good value. I love Iowa over Kansas. They're great value. This one's right up there. I think Texas Tech over Arkansas, you're going to get plus odds there. You'll make some money on that one. Moving on down to Ohio State, Virginia Tech. You've got a 10 seed versus a 2 seed. Ohio State just has too much talent. I think Virginia Tech's a great team. I just don't think they have enough to overcome Ohio State.
I also think Ohio State, they are a small team, so you have to have a really good big if you're going to beat Ohio State.
Sure.
I think if you try to, match up with them small ball, they're just too dangerous. I mean, we saw it against Illinois. that Illinois is an amazing team, and that Big Ten championship was very, very fun with those perimeter guys going back and forth. So I couldn't agree with you anymore here. Winthrop, I'm sorry, your run comes to an end here. We've got Baylor.
Good season, though.
Yep, absolutely. I'm taking Ohio State here. I think they're Texas Tech, once again, their best players are guards. If your best players are guards and you're going against Ohio State, good luck. So I'm taking Ohio State here. And then I'm taking Baylor. Like I said, I think if they make it out of this first little thing here, that I think they're going through.
Yeah, I don't like it enough to veto it, but go for Baylor. I'm fine with that.
All right, you lead us off in the first round down here.
All right, I'm just going to pencil these two in here with Illinois and Houston.
Yep.
I think I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that.
Yeah.
Misspelled Illinois.
Good
I
job.
won't misspell Houston.
I like that.
All right, great. Now we've got Georgia Tech coming off the ACC championship. We talked about that a little bit. I think people are going to be a little salty on that victory just because of the COVID. But man, they are a great team with a 4 seed. You compared them to Wisconsin, who's a 9 seed. I think this is a very favorable matchup versus Loyola Chicago. This will be a popular upset pick here. Just because, well, I guess they're not an upset, right?
No, they're the 9, yeah.
But just because they have that great run from a few years back.
Yeah.
Don't buy into the hype from a team that has no of the same players. Go for Georgia Tech.
Correct. That is a great pick as well. I love that one.
Tennessee versus Oregon State. Oregon State's one of those teams that went on that magical run, pushed their way through the Pac-12 tournament. They usually do really well when a team runs through their conference tournament. They do well in the first round. There's been a little layover, though. Usually they play on a Thursday. Now they're going to play on Saturday?
Yeah. This is going to be regardless, it's a long layoff.
Yeah.
It's tough to keep that momentum, I think.
I think I like Tennessee there. Oregon
I
State's
love Tennessee, by the way. Tennessee was a team that, once again, they have Rick Barnes, who is an experienced coach, and this is a team that was in the top 15 for a lot of the season, went on a little bit of a fall there, and then Tennessee blew a lead against Alabama, but Tennessee was up 15 versus Alabama.
Yeah.
They were beating them down in the SEC tournament. I think this is a team that can make a lot of noise.
I love the pick. We'll move forward with that one. Oklahoma State versus Liberty. Oklahoma State, didn't they beat Baylor in their conference tournament?
Why, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Old Cade Cunningham just crushed them, the number 1 pick on this team, so very fun.
I think that's reason enough. I'm not going to talk about it more. Oklahoma State moving forward.
Yep. I think that's correct.
And we've got San Diego State versus Syracuse. I like San Diego State. What conference is that? Oh my gosh, that CSU plays.
Mountain West.
Mountain West. They've had a better conference than I think people give them credit for.
Yeah.
Should have had 2 at-large bids, I think, with CSU and Utah State.
Yeah.
San Diego State came out on top. I think I'm going with them over Syracuse.
I think that's a great pick. San Diego State, they really shoot the ball from 3 really well, which is a great thing to be doing against that Syracuse zone. They shoot at 37%, and I just don't trust Syracuse at all. So sorry, Jim Boeheim and his kid. They are both going home.
Yeah. Next, we've got West Virginia playing
Morehead State.
Morehead State. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know a ton about Morehead State. I've seen a few West Virginia games. They're a good team. 3 seed out of the Big 12. That's who I'd go with.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds correct.
All right. Finally, we have Clemson playing Rutgers. I have no idea how Rutgers got into the tournament. I don't like them at all. Love Clemson down here. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, I think it's a classic Big Ten. Got another bid.
Right.
Take Clemson.
Okay. All right. No veto there.
Nope. Great work. All right, Illinois, Georgia Tech. I'm taking Illinois. Illinois is the second best team in this tournament. They are really, really good, really fun. So there that is. Tennessee versus OK State. This is a super, super fun matchup in which OK State has the best player by a lot, but then the next 4 are probably on Tennessee. So I'm taking Tennessee here. I think this is a classic. You know, people are going to be going into this saying, oh, Cade, yeah. And you're going to get great value here. So bettors out there, take Tennessee.
Great.
Also, my wife's family is lives in Tennessee right now. So shout out them. Want to get in good with the in-laws. Then we have San Diego State versus West Virginia. I love San Diego State here as well. I think West Virginia is a team that, once again, they play with a lot of pressure. They try to turn you over. They try to muddy the game up. And if you can't handle that physicality, then you can get run out of the gym pretty quickly. But I actually don't think they have the talent to go with San Diego State. San Diego State has not lost in over a month. I think they are a really talented team. Like I said, they shoot the three well. So, when you're trying to trap, do the press, do all that stuff that West Virginia and Bob Huggins teams like to do, then you're going to give up some threes sometimes. And I think San Diego State does it. Any veto?
I was going to veto if you picked West Virginia.
Okay, I saved you. Now we've got Clemson versus Houston. Houston is a sleeper team here. I don't think a lot of people know about them. They have Kelvin Sampson as their coach, so do look forward to, as a Houston fan, enjoy these in this moment. They will all be getting vacated when all the cheating comes out that he has done at every university he has been at. But enjoy this ride while it lasts, because you are beating Clemson. So we've got Houston going right on through. All right. Dietz, what say you?
Jumping in, Illinois versus Tennessee. I think
game.
You've broken down Illinois pretty well. I think Tennessee, good overall team, but Illinois just has a ton of talent. I would lean Illinois, even though they're from the Big Ten.
Yeah, but I will say that's going to be a super fun Sweet 16 matchup. That's going to be one of the best ones. All right. Continue.
San Diego State versus Houston. I'm a little nervous about this one for San Diego State. I'll admit I haven't watched a ton of Houston. You've said they're a sleeper team. They are for me. What do you think on this one?
I think Houston. I think Houston is a team that plays really fast. They have really good offense, and they are a great perimeter defensive team, which is what you need versus San Diego State. So give me Houston there. So this is our first. Oh no, the opposite brackets here. We have the 1 and the 2 going against each other. I guess we did here as well.
Yeah.
So 3 out of 4 we have the 1 and the 2. But Illinois, Houston, give me Illinois. Illinois is the next best team. There we are. This is a really, really fun matchup. Illinois versus Baylor. I am actually, I'm going to take Baylor here. I think that they can get back to, I said, if they can make it out of this opening weekend, I think they can get back in a rhythm. I think they will be able to defensively slow down Illinois. And then inside, they have an advantage. So give me Baylor here. And then Baylor versus the Zags. You know what I want to do, Dietz, but what's kind of your breakdown here? These have been the teams, they were scheduled to play. It got canceled by COVID, so we haven't seen it during the regular season. This has been 1 and 2 for most of the season until Baylor had their little slip up near the end. What say you here in this championship game?
My gut says Gonzaga, just because Baylor didn't look great down the stretch. And you got to go with what you've seen. You can't go with what you believe will happen. Gonzaga's looked good. Baylor hasn't.
Pick the Zags. Everyone out there, don't get cute with your stuff. Just absolutely destroy. The Zags are going to win. They are the best team. They would be the first team since Indiana in 1979, I believe, to go undefeated for the whole season and win it all. Give us the Zags. Congratulations, Mark Few. Congratulations, Jalen Suggs. Your team is awesome. They're fun to watch. And everyone out there, have a great March Madness.
All right. Nice.